Here are the top stories for today, November 26, 2019. President Duterte hails the strength of the bonds between the Philippines and South Korea made through solidarity and mutual aid. Government troops rescue a British national and his Filipino wife held captive by the Abu Sayyaf since October. Police arrest a high-ranking official of the New People's Army in San Juan. And former rebels and communist supporters receive aid from the government's enhanced comprehensive local integration program. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. President Rodrigo Duterte lauded the bond between the people of the Philippines and the Republic of Korea that has never been strong in no other time of both countries' shared history. Together with some of his cabinet secretaries and government officials, President Duterte convened with Republic of Korea President Moon Jae-in and the members of his delegation in a bilateral meeting at the Westin Chosun Busan Hotel in South Korea on Monday. Duterte and Moon witnessed the signing of 3 agreements that include the Social Security Agreement, implementation program of the Memorandum of Understanding on Tourism Cooperation, and joint statement by the ROK and Philippines on the early achievement package of the negotiations of the Philippines-Korea Free Trade Agreement. Likewise, the MOU on cooperation in fisheries and MOU on cooperation in the field of education were signed on the sidelines of the ceremony.
I am pleased to join you, Excellency, and fellow ASEAN leaders here in your beautiful hometown. Thank you for the gracious hospitality and the excellent preparation. The past 7 years, decades have witnessed the level of our interaction rise. Our cooperation encompasses various spheres, from trade, investment, and order, to infrastructure development, defense, science, technology, and agriculture. I thank your government for donating $100,000 for the earthquake victims in Mindanao last month. I assure you that the Philippines will continue to find common cause and purpose with the Republic of Korea.
Meanwhile, the Philippines also continues to secure strong tourism ties with the Republic of Korea with the signing of the implementation program on tourism cooperation between the two countries. The tourism cooperation, valid from 2019 to 2024, aims to introduce joint programs and activities that will bolster two-way tourism promotion and align tourism efforts between the Philippines and Korea. It will also facilitate deeper and meaningful interactions between Filipinos and Koreans and strengthen the overall cooperation of the two countries on matters concerning tourist safety, security, and quality assurance. Department of Tourism's January to September 2019 report showed that Korea remains the biggest source of visitors for the Philippines, reaching 1,450,792 arrivals, or 20.97% growth compared to the same period last year. DOT Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat, who signed the document on behalf of the Philippines, attributed the encouraging figures to the improved air connectivity between the two markets, noting the creation of 14 additional flights to the Philippines from Korea. These flights include new routes such as Daegu, Kalibo, Daegu, Incheon, Bohol, Incheon, and Muan, Clark, Muan. Back in the country, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo, Vice President Leni Robredo, who was currently fired as drug czar, is free to release the findings on the Duterte administration's anti-narcotics campaign. Panelo said Vice President Leni Robredo can do as she pleases, as anything she claims she has discovered was access to her. In a speech in Camarines Sur, Robredo said she will issue a report to the nation on what she learned during her 2-week stint as co-chair of the Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs, or ICAD. Panelo insisted that Robredo was fired for her incompetence, apart from her failure to introduce new programs that would help fight the drug menace. Meanwhile, Senator Panfilo Lacson on Monday said that Robredo's plan to report on what she discovered about the drug war is unnecessary. Lacson said reporting on the drug war might just worsen the political divide. For the Philippine National Police, Vice President Leni Robredo did not make any missteps during her nearly 3-week stint as a drug war co-chair. PNP spokesperson Bernard Banac said the PNP hasn't really noticed any report or missteps during Robredo's stay as ICAD co-chair and reiterated that Robredo's firing would not affect government's anti-narcotics campaign. Banac also said that the PNP is not really involved in so far as discussion on a higher level is concerned, so that they will leave it up to the higher authorities.
Tanggalin na si Vice President Leni Robredo bilang co-chair ng ICAD. So, hindi naman ito nakaka-apekto sa ating patuloy na kampanya laban sa illegal na droga, lalo na yung pagtugis natin sa mga high-value targets. At makakasa ng ating mga kabayan na patuloy na maging relentless at walang tigil ang ating kampanya laban sa mga high-value targets na may pagsunod sa batas at mga procedures at paggalang sa karapatan.
Government troops rescued a British businessman and his Filipino wife from Abu Sayyaf group bandits in the hinterlands of Sulu. The couple, Alan Arthur Hirons and his wife Wilma, was abducted on October 4 by 6 gunmen from the family-owned resort in Barangay Alindahao, Tukuran, Zamboanga del Sur. They were rescued around 8 a.m. Monday in Mount Piahan, Parang, Sulu. Joint Task Force Sulu Commander Major General Corleto Vinluan Jr. said the couple's rescue came after a series of clashes since Friday that constricted the movements of the ASG bandits. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom on Monday extended its gratitude to the Armed Forces of the Philippines for the successful rescue of the couple. Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said the UK has worked closely with the Philippine government on the couple's case over the last 2 months, and we're very grateful for the AFP's courage throughout a difficult operation, which resulted in Alan and Wilma's release. Still to come, police arrest a high-ranking official of the New People's Army in San Juan. Women's group starts an 18-day campaign against violence against women in Cebu City. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
I assure you that the Philippines will continue to find common cause and purpose with the Republic of Korea towards enhancing our bilateral engagement and promoting peace and stability in the region.
The elevation of our relations will pave the way for our two countries to engage in greater cooperation that will lead us to common prosperity. The Korean people love the Philippines. Koreans are the #1 visitors to the Philippines, while our bilateral trade volume surpassed the $15 billion mark for the first time last year. The Philippines is the future of ASEAN as it continues to achieve an impressive growth rate of 6% each year, thanks to your outstanding leadership.
Past 7 years, decades have witnessed the level of our interaction rise. Our cooperation encompasses various spheres, from trade, investment, and order, to infrastructure development, defense, science, technology, and agriculture.
A suspected New People's Army leader was arrested at the Cardinal Santos Medical Center in San Juan City on Monday. NCRPO Acting Director Brigadier General Dibold Sinas on Tuesday confirmed the arrest of Jaime Padilla. Sinas said Padilla was confined at the hospital due to hypertension. Padilla is said to have a standing warrant of arrest for multiple murder and kidnapping. He is also believed to be the spokesperson of the NPA Southern Tagalog.
The spokesman of Central Committee, identified as Jaime Dimaculangan Padilla, also known as Dilio, has been arrested by virtue of warrants of arrest for murder and multiple murders and kidnapping. Said person, is a spokesman of Central Committee, was confined in a private room, in Cardinal Santos Hospital in Green Hills, San Juan City. Na-aresto siya, nandoon sa kwarto, including 3 of his guards or tauhan.
The European Union on Monday announced a 500,000 euro or nearly 28 million pesos in funding to provide emergency humanitarian assistance to the families affected by a series of strong earthquakes that rocked parts of Mindanao in October. The EU delegation in Manila said the fund would support humanitarian aid group action against hunger in delivering emergency shelter, food, clean water, psychosocial support, and other vital aid to the most vulnerable and marginalized groups. Christos Stylianides, the EU Commissioner for Humanitarian Aid and Crisis Management, said their focus is to bring urgently needed assistance to those most heavily impacted by the disasters. An EU humanitarian expert has been deployed to the earthquake zone to assess the situation and the needs on the ground. More than 330,000 people have been affected by 4 powerful and shallow earthquakes in Davao del Sur and North Cotabato in October. The first Philippine Industrial Summit in Mindanao was formally opened on Monday, making louder calls for stakeholders to build an assertive industrial sector in the country. The 4-day summit, which will run until November 28, seeks to steer discussion on ways to push the full industrialization beginning in the region. Franklin Quijano, president of the FIVIDEC Industrial Authority, said it is high time the Philippines should stop relying solely on the traditional goods it receives abroad via trade. He said, for Filipinos, innovation could generate more value in a product such as coconut, which is used to produce copra. The country could also put a value on its human capital who often opt to work in foreign countries. The summit aims to solicit views and recommendations from the industry's movers on how the government should move forward towards full industrialization and its economic boom. The Army has told government soldiers in Negros Occidental to continue pursuing the CPP-NPA and stop the so-called peace spoilers. And the military goes on high alert as terror groups intensify their attacks in Maguindanao. More on these and other news around the metro from Benjamin Dong.
The top Philippine Army official in Western and Central Visayas urged government troops to be relentless in ending the atrocities of the CPP-NPA. Brigadier General Eric Vinoya, commander of the 3rd Infantry Division, said all military resources will be utilized to crush the peace spoilers. Vinoya made a statement after troops of the 62nd Infantry Battalion fought off the NPA in Barangay Cansalungon, Isabela, Negros Occidental on Friday afternoon. The hour-long firefight left an NPA fighter dead and his comrade wounded. 7 suspected rebels were also arrested. In Cebu City, members of various women's groups marched from Fuente Osmeña Rotunda to Cebu City Hall to mark the start of an 18-day campaign to end violence against women and children on Monday. Councilor Nina Mabatid said she made sure all 80 barangay halls maintain an active VAUC desk where women and children can directly report abuses committed against them. She said they will implement the Women's Cooperative Supermarket in every barangay in order to empower women and their families through a livelihood program. Meanwhile, military authorities in Maguindanao and neighboring provinces have been placed on alert status since Sunday after the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters intensified its attacks against government forces and civilians. Aside from setting off a motorbike rigged with improvised bombs, the BIFF attacked government forces in the province's 2nd district. On Sunday evening, BIFF attacked the military detachments in Barangay Meta, Datu Unsay, Maguindanao, and in remote Barangay Kalanganan 1, Cotabato City. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondok.
Up next, former rebels and communist supporters receive aid from the government's enhanced comprehensive local integration program. And Carabao Island gears up for the influx of tourists that is promoted as the next Boracay. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
아세안 정상들과 함께 한 아세안의 새로운 30년, 대한민국의 새로운 100년을 시작하고 싶습니다.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government led on Tuesday morning the awarding ceremony for the Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program. The AFP Southern Luzon Command and the local government of Occidental Mindoro held the awarding ceremony for the 79 surrendered former rebels and militia ng Bayan. The event takes place at the San Jose Town Plaza in Occidental Mindoro.
Ang programang ICLIP o Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program ay isang programa ng DILG, katuwang ang Armed Forces of the Philippines at ang pamahalaang lokal ay naglalayong hikayatin ang mga membro ng mga CPP-NPA na muling magbalik loob sa pamahalaan. Sa programang ito, binibigyan ng pagkakataon ang ating mga kababayan na muling bumalik sa kani-kanilang pamilya at mamuhay ng mapayapa, mapalayo sa madugong hangarin ng CPP-NPA. Sa pamamagitan ng ICLIP, ang ating mga kababayan po ay makakapagsimula ng panibagong yugto ng kanilang buhay na may bagong pananaw at pagtingin sa ating gobyerno.
Napaka-special po ng araw na ito dahil ang araw na ito ay isang tagumpay. Tagumpay nating lahat. Tagumpay para sa kapayapaan, tagumpay ng Provincial Task Force LCAC ng Occidental Mindoro, at higit sa lahat tagumpay po ng mamamayan. Umasa po kayo ng kaisa ninyo ang Southern Luzon Command kaisa po ninyo ang buong sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas sa pagtahak ng tamang landas, sa pagtahak ng landas tungo sa pagbabagong buhay, landas tungo sa magandang kinabukasan, at landas tungo sa pangmatagalang kapayapaan at kaginhawahan para sa ating lahat.
Alam po naman natin kung bakit may nagtutulak po ng armadong pakikibaka. Ito na lang yung nakikita nilang pamamaraan para doon sa kanilang mga nakikitang problema. Pero may mga pamamaraan pa pong iba. May mga tinatawag tayong mapayapang pamamaraan. Di ba? Pwede natin parating yung mga problemang nakikita natin sa pamahalaan nang sa gayon ang mga problemang ito'y matugunan po natin.
6 days before the grand opening of the 30th Southeast Asian Games, the Subic cluster lit the cauldron to formally open the biennial meet at the Subic Bay Freeport on Monday. SBMA Chair Wilma Isma led the lighting ceremony, witnessed by Mike Aguilar, Director for Ceremonies of the Philippine Sea Games Organizing Committee. Isma assured the FISGOC members that Subic is ready for the 2-week sporting meet. Subic, along with Olongapo, is hosting 17 of the 56 sports starting November 28 with sailing at Subic Bay. Other host clusters of the Games are Metro Manila, Clark, and Southern Tagalog. Meanwhile, the NCRPO said it will tighten security, particularly in venues of basketball and football games, to prevent heated tensions between fans of competing teams. Basketball games will be held at the Mall of Asia Arena, while football games will be at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. Preventive measures will be implemented, such as the prohibition of bladed weapons and cheering materials that contain racist chants. As the opening of the 30th SEA Games draws near, House Majority Leader Martin Romualdez called for the revival of Project Gintong Alay to increase the competitiveness of Filipino athletes in international competitions. Romualdez urged the government and other stakeholders to join together in helping local athletes realize their full potentials in bringing glory to the country. He said the country's top 1,500 corporations may be invited to join in the effort of producing future champions. Under Project Gintong Alay, the corporations adopt athletes from their chosen sporting disciplines to nurture them into world-class competitors. The congressman cited famous athletes under the Project Gintong Alay, such as then track and field superstars Lydia De Vega, also known as Asian Sprint Queen, Elma Muros, and two-time Olympian Isidro Del Prado, and swimmer champion Eric Buhain. Carabao Island is striving to build its character as a tourist destination that can live up to the beauty of the world-famous resort island neighbor, Boracay. The island, locally known as Hambil under the administration of San Jose Romblon, spans over 2,000 hectares. San Jose Mayor Ronnie Samson said they hope to best Boracay in terms of development as it prepares for the influx of tourists. Among the municipality's efforts towards sustainable tourism include a strong implementation of environmental laws and the management of sewerage. Popular activities that allow visitors to experience nature as it is are spelunking and cliff diving, and visiting the Panagan Picnic Grove, the Poblacion White Beach, and the Cathedral Cave and Cliff. The island is accessible via a pump boat from either Tablas or Caticlan, where the nearest airports are located. Carabao Island is also a perfect side trip for those already in Boracay, since the town is a mere 30-minute boat ride from the world-famous island. Let's now check out the weather forecast from Pagasa.
Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. Narito po ang ating magiging lagay na panahon. Amihan o northeast monsoon ang nakakapekto pa rin sa silangang bahagi ng Luzon. Samantala, yung Intertropical Convergence Zone o ITZ, kung saan naapektuhan po ang Visayas at Mindanao. Inyong mapapansin, may isang bagyo na sa labas ng ating Philippine Area of Responsibility. Ito yung Tropical Storm Kamuri. Ang Kamuri ay galing po sa Japan, ibig sabihin po ay Corona. Kasalukuyan, ang layo ni Kamuri ay nasa 2,335 kilometers east of Visayas. Ang lakas ng hangin malapit sa gitna ng bagyo ay umaabot sa 65 kilometers per hour, samantalang ang pagbugso ng hangin ay umaabot sa 80 kilometers per hour. Napakabilis ang kanyang pagkilos, itong bagyo nasa 40 kilometers per hour sa direksyong west-northwest. Kapag ito ay nasa loob ng ating Philippine Area of Responsibility, tatawagin po natin siyang Bagyong Tisoy. Dahil sa Intertropical Convergence Zone, makakaranas po ng maulap na kalangitan na may mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan at thunderstorm sa Visayas, Palawan, Zamboanga del Norte, Surigao Provinces at Dinagat Province. At dahil naman sa amihan, makakaranas pa rin ng maulap na kalangitan na may mga mahihinang pag-ulan sa Cordillera, Cagayan Valley, kasama na rin ng Aurora, Quezon at Bicol Region. Sa lalabing bahagi ng bansa kasama Metro Manila ay magiging maliwalas at maganda ang panahon na ating mararanasan maliban lang po sa mga pulupulong pag-ulan. Ang agwat ng temperatura sa Metro Manila ay aabot ng mula 24 hanggang 31 degrees Celsius. Sa ating mga kababayan sa Baguio City, ang agwat ng temperatura inaasahan po natin nasa 15 hanggang 23 degrees Celsius. Sa Tuguegarao, nasa 22 hanggang 27 degrees Celsius. Sa Laoag City, nasa 24 hanggang 31 degrees Celsius. Sa Tagaytay City, nasa 22 hanggang 29 degrees Celsius. Sa mga kababayan natin sa Legazpi City, nasa 25 hanggang 31 degrees Celsius. Sa Cebu City, nasa po natin ang agwat ng temperatura ay nasa 25 hanggang 31 degrees Celsius. Ganun din ang agwat ng temperatura sa Tacloban City at Iloilo City. Dako na tayo sa Mindanao. Di ganong kainitan ang panahon nating maranasan. Ang pinakataas ng temperatura sa Davao City nasa 32 degrees Celsius. Ganun din na maranasan o yung agwat o pinakataas ng temperatura ay sa Valencia City at ganun din sa Cagayan de Oro City. Pero sa Zamboanga City, napakataas pong temperaturang inaasahan po natin nasa 35 degrees Celsius. So napakainit po panahon inaasahan po natin sa bandang Zamboanga Peninsula.
Here's another look at today's biggest stories. President Duterte hails the strength of the bonds between the Philippines and South Korea made through solidarity and mutual aid. Government troops rescue a British national and his Filipino wife held captive by the Abu Sayyaf since October. Police arrest a high-ranking official of the New People's Army in San Juan. And former rebels and communist supporters receive aid from the government's enhanced comprehensive local integration program. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.